Hey guys, it's Paul from Online Sax Academy. In today's lesson, we're doing the famous sax solo on Rocking Round the Christmas Tree. Now I'm going to break this solo down into 3 different skill levels for beginners, intermediates and advanced level players. And you can get the free PDF of the beginner version for both alto and tenor saxes, and the link to that is down below. Now for this beginner version, the first thing we've done is slow it down. The original is around 140 BPM and this beginner version is at about 100 BPM. The other thing I've done with this beginner version is remove the shakes, the falls and the grace notes. And so you're left with the main foundational melody which anyone listening would recognise without those trickier articulations and faster notes. Now for this beginner version and for all the versions, we're going to be keeping it in the original key, meaning that you can play along with the original track as well. For tenor saxes, that means you're in B flat major, and for alto saxes, that means you're in F major. Now normally at this point I would say to listen to this a few times to get to know it, but I'm sure that's not necessary with this one. But what you can do is use YouTube's playback speed settings to slow it down even more to get your fingers used to these phrases. Getting used to this beginner version is a great foundation before we step up to the intermediate and advanced level versions, as you'll have all the main phrases in place without those more difficult articulations and faster grace notes. Alright, so here's that beginner version. Now for the intermediate version, we're stepping up the speed to 120 BPM, and the main thing we're going to be adding in here is what's called a shake, which in the PDF you can see is a big wiggly line over the notes. If you're playing this on tenor sax, like in the original, then all these shakes are on the note B flat. And the way you finger these B flats to enable a bigger shake is you have your bisky B flat in your left hand, but in your right hand we're adding on fingers 1, 2, 3, and your little finger on the E flat key. And having those fingers down in your right hand will enable you to do this big vibrato shake. Essentially what you're doing is a very wide and very fast vibrato with your jaw. You can also drop your throat, your larynx as well, to really help shape that note. And it has this cool effect that sounds like this. And there's also a couple of falls off notes in this version as well. You can do that by, as you play the note, you relax your jaw, you die away with your breath, and you bring your fingers down the scale. The trick though is to really die away with your breath as you're doing this so you don't hear the end notes. Along with that, there's also a couple of decorative 16th notes as well, so you can take those phrases out separately and practice them. Now, premium members at Online Sax Academy can get the PDF for this intermediate version and the advanced version, along with the performance and backing tracks. So you can practice playing this solo all by yourself and with me as well. Okay, so let's try this intermediate version. Alright, moving on to the advanced version, we're now going up to 140 BPM. You'll also now see some faster grace notes and more 16th notes. Now we've still got those shakes on the B flats. What you can also try to do as well is introduce a little bit of growling into your playing. The way you growl on a saxophone is you basically hum at the same time as you're playing. Now you need to make it a really breathy hum, like because the breath that's not involved in moving your vocal cords, that's there to get the reed to vibrate. If you just hum normally and don't make it breathy, then there isn't enough air pressure coming through to activate the reed. And that's the main trick really with getting these growls. You'll find it's a lot easier to growl higher up on the sax, so you may find this easier to do on the tenor sax version, as we're playing higher up in the tenor sax range than we are in the alto sax. And don't forget, premium members at Online Sax Academy, you can download the PDFs, the performance and backing tracks for this version as well. Alright, let's try this advanced version. All right, have fun with this one. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next week.